Visit us on the web at nilfisku.com. Nilfisk University is the cleaning equipment industry's most comprehensive web-based training and interactive learning resource. Your degree in success is just a click away at Nilfisk University.
Welcome to Nilfisk University, where excellence is attained through active learning. Welcome to the Use and Care lesson for the CS7000 Combination Sweeper and Scrubber. In this lesson, we will help guide you in the use and proper care of the CS7000 floor cleaning machine. This course is not intended to be a substitute for the operator's manual that is provided with the machine. Please read, understand, and follow all safety and operating instructions in the manual. Doing so will ensure years of safe, reliable operation and provide you optimum cleaning performance from the machine. This course is an efficient way to understand the operation of the CS7000 through active learning. After successfully completing this course, you will be able to identify the 8 major systems of the CS7000, understand the functionality of the user interface buttons, explain how to operate the machine, identify key equipment safety features and how to use them, perform regular maintenance checks and tasks, understand optional features and how to use them. In order to accomplish our outcomes, we will follow this course outline. First of all, getting to know the CS7000, its major components and systems of the machine, the user interface controls, how to use the machine, and how to perform routine maintenance on the CS7000. As an introduction to the CS7000, it will be simpler for you if we first develop a basic understanding of the key systems. These systems will be referenced as we proceed through the modules, so please take note. From the seat of the machine, we can view the operator's interface. This includes the control panel, steering wheel, drive pedal, and brake. The sweeping system is located within the front 1/3 of the machine and consists of the hopper, dust control system, and main broom. The optional dust card system is part of the sweeping function that virtually eliminates fugitive airborne dust from the side brooms during operation. The water tank that supplies the dust guard system is part of the front hopper assembly. The solution system is integrated within the main body of the machine and is where the clean water is held. The solution system also includes a filter, plumbing, and the necessary pumps, controls, and valves to precisely meter the solution to the scrub deck. EcoFlex is an optional onboard chemical system that your CS7000 may or may not be equipped with. If equipped, there will be 2 2.5-gallon containers located beneath the operator's seat for liquid chemical. This chemical is precisely mixed with clean water from the solution tank where it then travels to the scrub system. The scrub system, by definition, is self-explanatory. It scrubs the floor using 3-disc scrub brushes in solution. It may also be referred to as the scrub deck during this course. The recovery system picks up the spent solution. This system relies on a vacuumized squeegee at the rear of the machine and picks up the dirty solution from the floor and stores it in the recovery tank. Finally, under the hood in front of the operator's compartment, you will find the power plant. Depending on the machine configuration, this power source may be a large monoblock battery, in the case of machines labeled e-power. The 2 hybrid models consist of either LP, liquid propane, or diesel engine powered configurations. Rather than describing each of these functions on a single slide, we are going through the machine in order in which you would use the machine each day and cover each of these systems as we go. If at any point you are having trouble recalling what a certain system is, remember you can always come back to this slide to refresh your memory. The CS7000 is a revolutionary design in sweeping and scrubbing technology available in 3 configurations. These include 2 hybrid versions powered by LP or diesel-fueled engines. The third is a battery-powered version offering a best-in-class runtime. The CS7000 is also what we call a true dedicated dry sweeping and scrubbing machine, as both of these functions are performed independently. It is capable of 3 modes of operation: sweeping, sweeping and scrubbing, or just plain scrubbing. Regardless of which model you have, the CS7000 contains a sweeping system with dual side brooms and main broom, plus a 48-inch scrub deck using 3 17-inch diameter disc brushes. Each of the 3 models is available with or without EcoFlex onboard chemical dispensing or the patented Dust Guard dust suppression system. I know you're getting anxious to begin using this unique cleaning machine, but let's first make sure the CS7000 is prepared for its next tour of duty. The preparation process is much easier if the CS7000 was left in a ready-to-work condition from the day before. Hopefully the recovery tank is clean and empty with the lid open to dry and a clean debris tray. The scrub brushes should be clean and possibly drying outside the machine, along with a clean and ready-to-use rear squeegee and side skirts for the scrub deck. Lastly, the main hopper should also be empty of any debris. Before even attempting to operate the machine, please first perform these 8 steps. First, move the engine and battery cover latch toward the left side of the machine and raise the cover. Now also open the door on the right side of the machine. For battery-powered machines, you should now disconnect the battery from the charger. Hopefully this charging was performed after the last use. Then reconnect the battery to the main power connector on the machine. To avoid potential battery damage, the electrolyte level should be inspected and replenished as required every 15 to 20 operating hours. The most common fuel type for the CS7000 hybrid is propane as shown here. Check to verify the fuel is at an adequate level and if refueling is required. The propane tank may be swung out so it can easily be swapped with a full one. If you have a diesel hybrid CS7000, the fuel tank resides in the same location and the fuel level can be verified on the control panel display. For proper safety, the diesel tank should be swung outside the engine compartment before refueling. Now check the engine oil and coolant levels. Next, pinch the dust cap on the bottom of the engine air filter housing to release any excess debris. Inspect the engine air filter indicator located on the top of the black cylindrical air filter housing. If the indicator center is red rather than clear, it is time to replace or clean the filters. Note that there are both primary outer and safety inner filters. The primary filter element may be cleaned with compressed air. To avoid engine damage, no attempt should be made to clean the safety filter element, and it should be replaced every third time that the primary filter element is replaced. Verify the debris cage is in the recovery tank, the tank is empty, and close and secure the cover latch. Also ensure the tank is fully secured in the upright position. The next step is to install the scrub brushes. Note that there are many brush types available. If you have more than one version on hand, please be sure to select the one appropriate for the application you are about to scrub. To install them, raise the side skirts on both the left and right sides of the machine to the double scrub position and then engage the yellow retaining bracket. Also, release the scrub deck pivot mechanism by pulling on the yellow handle located just above the scrub deck. This will permit the right side of the deck to be swung toward the rear of the machine, providing easier access to the center brush. Note, each disc brush must be installed correctly for the particular brush motor rotation on the deck. To mount the brushes or pad holders, align lugs on the brush with the holes on the mounting plate and quickly twist in place according to the rotation directions shown in the diagram. If this step is done incorrectly, the brushes will not stay on the deck when scrubbing. Should the brushes come off the deck during operation, please verify that you have installed them correctly. The brushes must be installed by rotating them in a direction opposite that from the normal rotation during scrubbing. To install the main broom, open the main broom access door by raising the release lever and then move aside the right side skirt. Then pivot the idler arm assembly out of the main broom core. This is a good time to visually inspect the skirts at the front, back, and sides of the broom area. If the skirts are more than a quarter inch off the floor, plans should be made for replacement or dust control during sweeping will degrade. To obtain maximum broom life and performance, it should be rotated end for end every 15 to 20 hours and replaced when the bristle length is less than 2.5 inches. Installation requires engaging the center core of the broom with a driver on the left side of the machine. A flashlight or other light source will help ensure the slots in the broom core are properly aligned with the drive hub tangs. The installation can also be simplified by raising the front hopper, as this will provide more adequate lighting. Pushing down on the near side of the broom while pushing inward will also help engage the broom on the hub driver. Once the broom is seated, lift the broom core so that the idler hub can be pivoted back into position. The first few times you try this, it will take a few attempts, but once you get the feel, it will become much easier. Now swing the right side skirt into position and locate it on the 2 pins. Close the main broom access door and verify the latch is engaged. Perform a final walk-around inspection of the machine to ensure nothing is damaged or that there are no missing parts, leaks, spills, etc. before starting the machine. Report any suspect issues to your supervisor or maintenance personnel. Close or replace any covers as you complete these final preparation steps. Thankfully, it is now your chance to climb on board the machine and adjust the tilt steering wheel and seat to comfortable positions. Now you can use the key switch to start the engine, or on battery machines simply rotate the switch to the first position. At this point, the operator display and function indicator lights will turn on to illustrate they are working. After this diagnostic step, you will see the graphical display shows key information with a simple glance. It should indicate the fluid level in the solution tank and other operating parameters. Another item shown on the graphical display should be the hour meter. Fuel level will only be displayed if it is a diesel hybrid machine. Propane machines have their indicator on the tank and this space will be empty. Battery machines will have an indicator to show the state of charge. The CS7000 has a complete diagnostic system, so any problems or faults with the machine will be shown in the display with an error code next to a wrench symbol. Now you are almost ready to proceed to the area in which you fill the machine with water and chemical. Buckle the seat belt if equipped and start the engine by turning the key. Do not depress the foot pedal forward or back while you do this, or you will generate a fault with the machine. The pedal located to the left of the drive pedal is a service brake that may be locked whenever the machine is parked. If the parking brake is set, you will see this symbol in the display. Release the parking brake by pushing on the lower portion of the pedal as shown to release it. When released, the brake on in display screen will go away and the low solution warning will take its place if the solution tank is empty. Now we are ready to transport the machine to the area to be scrubbed or for filling of the tanks. The machine uses a bidirectional foot pedal to control both speed and direction. Depress the upper portion of the pedal forward to go forward and the lower portion of the pedal to reverse. The foot pedal is fully variable, meaning that just like a car, the further you depress the pedal, the faster the machine will travel. On hybrid machines, the controls automatically adjust engine RPM to ensure optimal fuel efficiency. Once you arrive at your fill area, set the parking brake by pushing in on the top part of the brake pedal. It will click as you set it and the parking brake symbol will show again in the display. Now you may turn the machine off. Next, if your machine is equipped with the EcoFlex dispensing system, check the level in the chemical tanks. Two 2.5 gallon tanks are located under the seat. Pivot the seat up and engage the prop rod. Note, this space will be empty if you do not have the onboard chemical system. You have the option of filling both tanks with the same chemical or each with a different chemical. Switching is done by simply moving the hose from one tank to another. Be sure you understand the dilution ratio of the chemical you're using, as we will use that later to program the machine to mix the chemical properly. Chemical manufacturers provide a suggested dilution ratio, like 128:1 for example, and some will use ounces per gallon, such as 1 ounce per gallon. And a few will use a percentage, as an example 0.8%. Never exceed the manufacturer's recommended concentration, and take note of this ratio as later we will verify the machine is set up properly for your specific chemical. If an outboard detergent dilution system such as a wall mount station is used, fill the machine from this device. If you do not have either of the two chemical mixing systems previously discussed, you must manually mix chemical in the solution tank. To obtain good chemical mixing, unscrew the black solution tank cap at the rear of the machine. Then fill the tank about 1/3 full, then add your chemical and finally top off the tank. Reference the dilution ratios for the chemical you're using and mix properly using a water capacity of 70 gallons. This will account for any additional detergent volume that will occupy the total CS7000 solution tank capacity of 75 gallons. Hot or warm water cleans the best, but note the water temperature should not exceed 130 degrees Fahrenheit. If the machine is equipped with EcoFlex, fill the machine with pure water only. In all cases, fill the machine so the solution level is about 2 to 3 inches below the fill port. On dust guard equipped machines, remove the same black cap located on the front hopper. Do not place water in machines without the system, as there will be no means to drain this out. Now you are ready to release the parking brake by pushing on the lower portion of the brake pedal and drive to the location you wish to sweep or scrub. As you view the CS7000 control panel, you will notice the primary cleaning functions are grouped from top to bottom along the right side to support 3 key machine functions: scrubbing, sweeping, and hopper. Before we jump into those, let's first focus our attention on the cluster of switches surrounding the display. First, there is a key switch that powers up the machine, and in the case of hybrid machines, starts the engine. Above the key switch is the e-stop button. This button may be depressed in emergency situations and will suspend all functions. To resume normal operation, simply twist the switch and it will pop out to the normal run condition. In the event a machine is non-functional, yet there is power supplied as indicated by the display, please verify the e-stop has not been activated. The 3 switches above the display control the optional left and right turn signals using the arrow-shaped buttons, with the center button used to activate the hazard flashers. Below the display, from left to right, are 4 buttons. The rabbit turtle button provides 2 sets of functionality depending on machine configuration. On hybrid machines, this switch will manually increase or decrease engine speed. In most instances, this will not be necessary, as the machine automatically controls engine speed based on load to optimize fuel economy and reduce noise. On battery machines, this switch will allow scrubbing and maximum transport speed. The other functions are headlight on-off switch, the optional pressure washer on-off switch, which allows high pressure cleaning using water from the solution tank. The last switch controls the extended scrub option that effectively recycles water from the recovery tank, providing extended scrubbing between dump and refill cycles. Before we can begin sweeping with the CS7000, we must adjust the main and side brooms. This procedure will need to be completed periodically to compensate for broom wear and also whenever worn brooms are replaced with new ones. You will know adjustment is required when the side brooms are no longer sweeping debris effectively in from the sides or when the sweeping performance of the main broom begins to degrade. The broom adjustments are quite simple. When performing these adjustments, be sure to drive the machine to a location where the floor will not be damaged, such as a bare concrete floor. To begin the adjustment, press the bidirectional arrow switch located between the one-touch sweep switch and the side broom on-off switch. Pressing this switch one or more times will toggle the adjustment mode between the side broom or main broom. At the same time, the indicator light will flash adjacent to the main broom or side broom buttons. Though you cannot see the main broom rotating, you should be able to hear it or feel it as you toggle between modes. To adjust the side broom, press the adjustment mode button until the side brooms are rotating and the indicator light is flashing, then use the up or down buttons to visually adjust the right side broom height. Proper height will have the right broom bristles touching the floor in an arc between roughly 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock as shown. Note: do not adjust the brooms lower than recommended, as cleaning performance will degrade, and this will also accelerate broom wear. Both left and right sides are adjusted at the same time, so the brushes should always be replaced in sets. To adjust the main broom, press the adjustment button until the one-touch sweep indicator flashes. Then adjust the broom downward until you hear the bristles contacting the floor. Note the relative broom height indicator on the display. A new broom should be in proper adjustment if the bars are near the top of the position indicator. If there are 2 or fewer bars in the display, you either have the broom adjusted too low or the broom is nearing its wear limit and should be replaced. After the broom is in contact with the floor, then lower it by 1 bar. Now do not press any buttons for 10 seconds and the adjustment mode will cease. Move the machine a short distance to a different area on the floor and use the adjustment mode switch to activate the main broom rotation. After the broom rotation stops, move the machine forward or back so that the contact patch on the floor can be inspected. The width of the polished strip should be the same at both ends of the broom. If the strip is tapered, verify the floor is level and move the machine to a different location and perform the same procedure. Now inspect the polished strip. The goal is to obtain a polished strip that is 2 to 3 inches of uniform width. If the strip is too narrow, then the broom must be adjusted lower, and if the strip is too wide, the broom should be adjusted higher. Repeat the adjustment steps and broom pattern inspection by moving the machine slightly until the desired pattern is reached. Adjusting the broom height too high may provide inadequate sweeping performance, and adjusting the broom height too low will provide poor performance, cause premature wear, or nuisance overload faults. Congratulations, you are now ready to proceed to the next step of actual sweeping. In many applications, the CS7000 sweeping system will be used in conjunction with the scrubbing system. The only exceptions are those times when the floor has already been pre-swept or free of visible debris, when double scrubbing, or if cleaning in very wet areas. However, this machine may also be operated as a standalone sweeper whenever scrubbing is not required. To begin sweeping with the CS7000, simply press the one-touch green and red banded button in the center cluster of sweeper control functions. This should automatically activate the main broom, side brooms, vacuum fan, and dust guard functions as evident by the blue LED indicators next to each switch. The hopper door will also open and the side and main brooms will lower to the sweeping position. All sweeping functions will commence once the drive pedal is depressed in the forward direction. The side brooms may be turned on or off using the side broom function switch. The side broom should be used a majority of the time when sweeping, and all of the time when simultaneously sweeping and scrubbing, to protect the rear squeegee from falling due to debris. However, it may be desirable to turn the side brooms off when they are creating excessive airborne dust in extremely dusty conditions. In these applications, the optional dust guard function can virtually eliminate the problem. This system uses a very fine water mist to knock down the fine dust particles, thereby preventing them from becoming airborne. On models equipped with the dust guard system, pressing this button will turn the function on and off. Generally, the dust guard system on models so equipped should be used whenever sweeping to minimize the generation of fugitive dust that can settle out on objects within the area being cleaned. The next key sweep function is the main broom float mode that may be activated by pressing this button. The float mode allows the broom to sweep uneven or heavily worn floors by effectively lowering the broom closer to the floor. This function should only be used as required, as it will accelerate main broom wear. The switch with the fan symbol controls a dust control vacuum system that keeps dust generated by the main broom contained within the hopper. This dust control system should only be turned off when sweeping through wet areas on the floor. This will avoid wetting the dust control filter that could cause reduced airflow and dust control performance. Final sweeper related function is the filter shaker. If dust is exiting the main broom housing while sweeping, the dust control filter may be plugged, so push the shaker switch to activate the shaker. The dust control system will automatically turn off while the shaker is operating and turn on after the shaker turns off. Shaker will operate for roughly 15 seconds, making a noticeable rumble. Depending on the dust level of the application, operate the shaker periodically to ensure consistent dust control when sweeping. When sweeping, periodically check the path behind the machine to make sure the machine is picking up debris. Dirt left behind in the path of the machine usually indicates that the machine is moving too fast, the broom needs to be adjusted, or the hopper is full. When sweeping and scrubbing, following the squeegee may also be a sign the sweeping system needs to be inspected to ensure it is functioning properly. When finished sweeping, simply press the one-touch sweep switch. This will automatically raise and stop the main and side brooms. The dust control and dust guard, if installed, will turn off. The hopper door will close and the shaker motor will run for 15 seconds. On EcoFlex equipped models, there are a few additional initial setup steps required to use the machine or whenever you switch detergent types. The EcoFlex system on the CS7000 provides the flexibility demanded for industrial applications. The lowest chemical concentration or highest dilution ratio setting must first be defined. This is the normal chemical concentration that is effective at cleaning the majority of floor space in your application in a single pass. If you do not know the required ratio, it is recommended you start cleaning at the next highest ratio from what the manufacturer recommends. For example, if you are using a degreaser and the manufacturer recommends a dilution ratio of 32:1, you would want to use the next highest dilution ratio or default ratio of 50:1. You can then adjust the ratio lower as required until you achieve the desired level of clean. To enter the EcoFlex programming mode, first activate the scrub system by pressing the red and green banded scrub switch. You should see all of the blue LEDs for the various scrub functions turn on. When the LED on the burst of power button is on, we can now program the minimum concentration detergent setting. Now press the detergent switch until the indicator turns off and release the button. Then press and hold the button again until the blue LED flashes. You are now in the ratio change mode and can toggle through the chemical mixing ratios to the one desired by repeatedly pressing the chemical switch and noting the selected ratio shown in the display. Once a desired ratio is displayed, it will be stored by the machine if no other buttons are pressed for 2 seconds. To program the maximum concentration detergent setting, simply press and hold the burst of power button for 2 seconds until the LED turns off. Now repeat the same process for programming this setting by using the chemical button. You will note during programming of the maximum concentration detergent setting, you may only select ratios that are equal to or less than the minimum concentration detergent setting. We will cover the 3 EcoFlex operating modes shortly. Congratulations, you are now ready to move on to the next step of actual scrubbing. With the CS7000 user-friendly design, we will outline the steps in beginning the scrubbing process. Press and hold the solution on-off switch for a few seconds. This will dispense solution to the deck and pre-wet the brushes and floor. While this step is not critical on durable surfaces like concrete, more delicate floor types like epoxy coatings can be scoured if you start up with dry brushes. This step helps provide lubricity to help prevent this from occurring. Another best practice to prevent damage on more sensitive floors is to have the machine in motion slightly before you begin scrubbing. To start scrubbing, simply press the green and red banded one-touch scrub switch. Note, if you press this button again, it will also turn the scrub system off. You will know the scrub system is activated when one or more of the indicator lights turn on within the grouping of the scrub function buttons. The deck will lower to the floor along with the rear squeegee. The solution pump, solenoid valve, brush dries, vacuum system, and chemical pumps, if equipped, will all be set to active. However, none of these functions will begin operating until the drive pedal is depressed, as this saves both fuel and prevents unnecessary wear to brushes and potential damage to the floor. Before you begin scrubbing, it's a good idea to verify that the dilution ratio for the onboard chemical system, where equipped, matches the greater of either the manufacturer's recommended ratio or that which you have found that best suits your application. Okay, you are now set to scrub. Just press the foot pedal and all scrub functions will begin. Pause scrubbing, release the foot pedal, and allow the machine to go to neutral. All operations will then automatically cease after a few seconds. The vacuum will stop after a 10-second delay to help clear the vacuum hose and squeegee of any remaining water. To stop scrubbing, simply press the scrub on-off switch again and the scrub deck and rear squeegee will lift and the vacuum will shut off after a 10-second delay. Well, that's it. You now know how to run the CS7000, at least for the most part. The CS7000 is as simple as pressing the green and red banded scrub button. For many applications, this is all that is needed. That said, there are many other things the CS7000 can do, so we'll spend the next few minutes going over the other scrub settings. To extend your knowledge in operating the CS7000 beyond just the green and red one-touch button, let's first look at how to increase the scrub pressure. This machine features integrated scrub pressure and solution control. Advance has taken the guesswork out of scrubbing through innovative engineering. The CS7000 is calibrated to use the correct combination of brush pressure and solution flow rate to clean regular, heavy, and extreme soil loads. There are 3 scrub pressure settings on the CS7000: regular, heavy, and extreme scrub mode. Regular mode is the default mode each time the one-touch scrub button is first depressed to activate the scrub system. This is indicated by the bottom LED on the one-touch scrub switch and will also correspond to a predefined number of LED indicators for the solution flow rate as they are automatically linked together. The CS7000 always defaults to this lowest pressure and lowest solution flow rate to promote longer brush life, lower fuel usage, and reduced water and chemical usage. To clean heavy soil loads, one needs more pressure and more water. Pressing the plus button above the one-touch scrub button and the heavy scrub mode is indicated by 2 scrub pressure lights and 2 or more solution lights. To clean extreme soils, you need extreme pressure and extreme solution flow rate. Extreme scrub mode is indicated by 3 scrub pressure LEDs and 3 or more solution LEDs. If you do not like the automatic linking of brush pressure and water, you can choose to set the CS7000 functionality as last remembered. This means each time the green and red banded button is pressed, it will go back to the last setting you scrubbed at. This is particularly helpful if you have a particular setting you like. Consult the service manual for this programming step. Also note that even though the CS7000 takes much of the guesswork out of scrubbing, an operator can still easily and independently control the solution flow rate separate from the brush pressure. One example might be if there are wheel marks from mud near the entrance of a building. In this case, you may not need a lot of scrub pressure to clean the floor, but you will need a lot of water to suspend this large quantity of dirt so that it can be effectively vacuumed from the floor. In this example, you may have selected the lowest pressure setting, but maximum solution flow rate of 5. To increase the solution flow rate, press the solution plus switch. To decrease the solution flow rate, press the solution decrease or minus switch. Finally, you can turn the water on and off by pressing this button. Being able to turn the water off comes in handy, for example, when you are double scrubbing in an area and there is adequate solution on the floor and no more is needed. Double scrubbing is where you simply scrub but do not pick up the solution and instead allow it to dwell on the floor. This makes it easier to remove dirt that is deeply embedded or adhered to the floor. We will cover this in more detail in a few minutes. EcoFlex equipped models provide the ultimate in flexible cleaning. This system allows for 4 different cleaning modes: water only, low concentration detergent, burst of power, or maximum concentration detergent. Water only mode is activated by simply pressing the chemical button until the LED light is off. To activate the standard low concentration mode, simply press the chemical switch again until the LED indicator is on. The operating dilution ratio will be shown in the display. Now, if you're cleaning in a facility that is relatively clean but has smaller select areas that are significantly dirtier, such as high traffic lanes, the burst of power switch is the ideal solution. Simply press this switch and the CS7000 will automatically operate for 60 seconds at the next highest pre-programmed chemical ratio, while also increasing the brush pressure and solution flow rate by 1 level beyond the current settings. The burst of power LED will flash until after 60 seconds. Then the system will revert back to the prior settings, conserving solution, chemical, and brush wear. As an example, if the machine is programmed for a 256:1 dilution ratio, the burst of power will decrease the ratio to the previously programmed maximum concentration setting. The last mode allows cleaning at the maximum programmed chemical concentration ratio for cleaning larger, highly soiled areas that need additional attention. It is also useful when performing special cleaning tasks such as double scrubbing to remove embedded dirt. This mode may be activated by simply pressing and holding the burst of power button. Once the burst of power light turns off, the machine will continuously dispense solution at the next highest detergent concentration ratio. During this time, all of the other scrub functions, brush pressure, solution flow rate, can be controlled as usual. To return to normal EcoFlex operating mode and low concentration detergent settings, simply press the burst of power button again and the LED will light and return to conserve detergent for green cleaning. Now we will briefly cover some of the other functions possible with the CS7000. When double scrubbing, the side squeegee should be raised and locked into position to keep them from wiping water off the floor in turns. At the same time, the recovery tank vacuum fan should be turned off, which also raises the rear squeegee up off the floor. Don't forget to lower the side squeegees and turn on the vacuum fan when returning to normal scrubbing. There will also be times when you need to clear water off the floor without scrubbing. This can be accomplished by pressing the squeegee off aisle wand button. Pressing this button without the scrub system active lowers the rear squeegee to the floor and activates the recovery tank vacuum to draw water from the floor. This same squeegee off aisle wand button can be used in conjunction with the off aisle wand accessory tool for cleaning in areas where the machine cannot directly access. Hybrid machines can be ordered with a unique option that heats water before it is dispensed to the scrub deck. This function may not be turned off, but remember, using fresh clean water in the solution tank will reduce the need for periodic cleaning. Be careful when handling brushes on this machine with this option. Since heat from the engine is used for this function, the hot water will gradually warm as the engine comes up to operating temperature. Another unique option is an engine-driven 2300 psi high-pressure washer, again available on hybrid machines. To use this feature, connect the supplied high-pressure hose and wand to the connector just above the scrub deck on the left side of the machine. Then start the engine and press the high-pressure wash enable button. This option will not function if someone is sitting in the operator's seat. Use proper safety precautions, including eye protection, and never direct the spray wand at yourself or other individuals when cleaning. When using this option, always ensure the solution tank has an adequate amount of water and turn off the function when finished or if you must stop using it for an extended period of time. Also be sure to remove and store the hose and wand before moving the machine to prevent potential damage. The final option is the low pressure spray wash. There is no special operator input required to use this option. It simply draws water from the solution tank and dispenses it at low pressure whenever the nozzle is opened. If there are any questions about the usage of these options, consult your user manual for more specific instructions. Eventually the hopper will be full and/or the solution tank will be empty and the recovery tank may be full. Though the solution tank and recovery tank are the same size, it is possible to pick up more water than dispensed in the case of a spill, for example. The CS7000 has a recovery float ball that protects the vacuum motor from ingesting water. Once the recovery system senses this condition, the display will show a full tank and the recovery system will automatically be shut off. If the solution tank runs out before the recovery tank is full, then an empty tank warning light will flash, and this will be shown on the display. After either of these conditions occur, transport the machine to a suitable location to empty and refill it. The recovery tank dump hose is located on the side of the machine. Pull it out and use your hand to fold over the end of the hose so that when you open the cap you can meter the water out at a flow rate your drain will accept. Please note that many drains cannot handle the volume of water which comes out of the CS7000 recovery tank. Once the recovery tank is empty, you are of course going to do one of two things. Either you have more scrubbing to do, in which case you would go back and refill the solution tank, or you are done scrubbing and it's time to prep the machine for storage. We'll assume you're done sweeping and scrubbing for the day, so let's move on to the next step of how to properly empty the hopper. Once you are done sweeping or the debris hopper is full, you will need to empty the hopper. First, ensure the sweeping system is turned off. Now transport the machine to a location where the debris will be dumped. Then use the hopper raise function button to raise the hopper to the fully raised position. Carefully approach the dumpster until the hopper door is properly positioned. Now open the hopper door to dump the debris. Activate the shaker motor to help shake loose any debris. Once the hopper is empty, close the hopper door and back the machine away to provide sufficient clearance for lowering it into the normal operating position. Caution: you should never stand or place any part of your body under or near the hopper without the safety prop rod engaged. If you must inspect the hopper, raise it to the full upright condition while pulling on the round red lever above the control panel. Once the prop rod is in position, lower the hopper into the safe position until the hopper stops moving down and release the hopper down switch. To clean out the recovery tank, leave the drain hose open near a floor drain. Remove the debris catch cage from the tank and empty it. Now release the recovery tank latch lever to provide better access for spraying down the interior of the tank. If you unclip the cable tether, you can also lay the tank down to ease cleaning. Doing this will also allow two people to lift it off the machine if, for instance, you wanted to bring it back into a pressure washing bay for a deeper cleaning. Before doing this, make sure you disconnect the recovery vacuum hose from the back of the recovery tank by simply pulling it out. Your machine may also be equipped with a recovery tank cleanout port kit. This kit is commonly used when the debris is comprised of a thicker sludge or containing a higher concentration of solids. To use this feature, remove the 2 Allen head fasteners with the wrench supplied with the machine and you will have a large opening for aiding in cleaning. Finally, make sure the recovery tank float balls are clean. You will see them toward the front of the machine through the recovery tank opening. You should also leave the recovery tank lid open as you will want it to air dry overnight. Now you can rinse off the squeegee and inspect it to make sure the blades are not ripped or torn. If they need to be changed or replaced, do that now. To do this, remove the vacuum hose by lifting it off. Then use the round knobs to loosen the squeegee assembly retention brackets. Flip or replace the blades as needed and reinstall the squeegee when you are finished. Note the operator's manual has a great section illustrating the 4 sides that can be used for every blade, as well as how the squeegee should look when adjusted properly. The handle offset from the center of the squeegee can be used to adjust the tilt angle to ensure the middle and tips of the squeegee are contacting the floor equally. Raise the side skirts to the double scrub position and engage the deck pivot release to remove the disc brushes. Inspect the brushes and check to see if they need to be replaced. If they do, do that now. If not, set them aside to clean and then dry. Raise the hopper and engage the safety arm so you can inspect the side brooms and main broom for stringy objects that may be wrapped around them and then clean them off. If the main broom needs to be cleaned, remove it by opening the right side broom compartment door. Just reverse the steps outlined earlier for installation. Finally, use a damp rag to wipe down the machine as necessary. Besides the maintenance that is done on the machine on a daily basis, there is also maintenance required periodically. Please reference the operator's manual for the specifics on these maintenance items, as we will only cover them briefly now. Weekly, one should purge the onboard chemical system if equipped. Inspect the hopper dust control filter. Removal of this filter is actually quite simple. Open the hood on the hopper and then loosen the 2 black wing nuts until the filter shaker assembly can be slid to the left. Then remove the shaker assembly and hang it on the convenient hook located on the left hood arm. Simply remove the filter for inspection and clean or replace as required. You must also inspect and periodically clean the solution filter. This is located at the right rear side of the machine. Be sure to close off the solution shutoff valve so that you can check the solution filter without having to first empty the solution tank. Inspect and clean the dust guard water filter where equipped. This is located underneath the hopper on the left side of the machine. Also inspect and clean the high pressure washer filter, if equipped, located near the hose connection coupler. These are the other maintenance steps that should be performed on the CS7000 machines. Performing them regularly will maximize your machine's performance and life. These other maintenance items are outlined in your operator's manual. Make a copy and keep it with the machine. If your company does its own service, make sure these items are captured in any preventative maintenance system you may have. If you do not perform your own service on equipment, your local servicing technician can make sure this maintenance is done properly. If you need another copy of the operator's manual or have questions about how to perform these steps, you can consult with the service manual. Both may be found at www.advanced-us.com. At this point in the course, you should be able to identify the 8 major systems of the CS7000, understand the functionality of the user interface buttons, explain how to operate the machine, identify the key equipment safety features and how to use them, perform regular maintenance checks and tasks, and lastly, understand optional features and how to use them.
Visit us on the web at nilfisku.com. Nilfisk University is the cleaning equipment industry's most comprehensive web-based training and interactive learning resource. Your degree in success is just a click away at Nilfisk University.